It's time to stop setting the same goals because you didn't do the work necessary to achieve them. Welcome to another episode of the Fruitful Woman podcast, where we talk all things productivity and personal development from a faith perspective. I'm Funbi, your host, and today I'm going solo because I want to talk to you directly about automating the process that takes you straight to your goals. When we set a goal, we are motivated and excited about it, meaning that the first few steps that we take towards that goal come with a degree of ease. But you know by now that motivation fizzles out and discipline must take over. Motivation is tied to our emotions, and how we feel can be very fickle. Most achievements require consistency in order to see results, so we cannot afford to rely on motivation alone. One thing that really depletes our motivation is when we focus on results. No one gets worthy results after just 1 week. You usually have to be consistent for a considerable length of time, and even once you get those results, you have to still be consistent to maintain them. So it's really important to focus on input over output. What does that mean? It means you focus on those daily habits and don't focus on the results you're looking for. For example, if my goal is to have really beautiful skin, I would focus on not the output, which would just be looking at my skin, but I would focus on using the right products in the right order every morning and every night. In other words, you focus on what you can control and not what you can't control. This will help you to stay consistent regardless of your results. If your goal was something you could do in 1 day, you wouldn't have set it as an annual goal. 1 year is made up of 365 days. That's 365 opportunities that you have to do something every day that brings you closer to your goal. Overnight success is years of showing up when no one is looking. That's why it looks to the outsider like it was overnight. You have to trust the process. The reason why people give up is because small habits do not feel like they're making a difference, but they do. You just don't see it yet. This is why your focus, particularly at the start, has to be on input rather than output. Let me give you another practical example. You would never think that water can damage a rock because one is solid and one is liquid. But leave it long enough and water consistently hitting a rock in the same place, it will eventually begin to erode it. That tells me that if you do anything for long enough, it will make a difference. You just need to trust the process. Here are some practical tips on how you can stay consistent. Simplify to amplify. Breaking things down and making them more simple can help you get bigger results. When things are complex, we tend to shy away from them. Take each one of your goals and break them down into daily habits. For example, one of my goals this year is to read 12 books. So I've broken it down into 1 book a month and 10 to 15 pages a day. It seems small, but those mini goals will get me to the big goal. Then you want to track your progress. This way, you're able to monitor your input, which, as we said before, is what you should be focusing on. You can do this by using a daily to-do list or a habit tracker. You could also log what you're learning or achieving, either by journaling or simply just in your notes app. This will also enable you to celebrate small wins. Embrace and enjoy the process. You'll also want to have a support system, a community and friends who are encouraging you towards your goal and also working on their own goals too. Doing life with like-minded people makes a world of difference. Why not go one step deeper? Get yourself an accountability partner or join an accountability group. People who will intentionally ensure that you're doing exactly what you said you're going to do. Here at The Fruitful Woman, we have both a community and an accountability group that you are absolutely welcome to join. Just click the link in the description if you're interested. Remember, the sum of your daily habits make you who you are. If someone was to watch your habits for a week, would they reflect who you wish to be, or better yet, who God wants you to be? Thank you so much for listening. I'd love if you could take one thing that you really valued from this episode and share it with us in the comments. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next episode.